everyone, it's Jeanette here from Enthusiastic Gardener, and I have found a whole load of photos from when we first moved into this garden, which was 15 years ago. As you can see, we had an oak tree right by the back door. The oak tree was huge, although it had a lovely circular seat. There's my old barbecue and my little bird tree house. I had a lovely circular bench around the tree, which I used to sit at all the time. But the tree, while it was lovely, it shed all its leaves. The whole garden was filled with leaves throughout the autumn. Spent most of my time picking up the leaves, and as you can see from this picture, it was right near the back door and it was only going to get bigger and bigger. So we decided to take the tree down. And as you can see, it made a huge difference. We suddenly had a lot of light in the garden, which was lovely, but it seemed very, very bare after all that time. When I first moved into the garden, I was a little lost, did not know what to do with it. I had a garden in my other house for 17 years, which I loved. It was 120 foot long, very, very big garden, but this one, for some reason, I just could not find any inspiration. So we just had a lot of weeds. There was hardly any plants in the garden. I did plant some things, but just could not get into it. So the garden stayed quite ordinary for a long time. I painted the fences green here, as you can see, but I didn't paint the fence on the other side because it was falling down. Here we have some very odd raised beds which were crumbling down. They didn't look very attractive. And then I suddenly started to do a little bit of tidying up, trying to make it look a bit better. And you can see here that I'm beginning to add some plants, and I have done the weeding finally. This picture here shows my lovely little tortoise. It was quite a big tortoise, and I loved my tortoise, but unfortunately somebody came over the fence and stole my tortoise, which was most upsetting. So we installed CCTV to make sure that we would catch anyone else who would do that again. Here's the fence from the neighbour, and you can see it's in a very poor state here, which is why I didn't bother to paint that green either. So it stayed like that for quite a while. And you can see a very good angle here of what it looked like. For a couple of years we kept propping it up. So I used to go out to the boot sale and I used to find all these planters. I still have these planters now, and they're over by the side of the cabin. And here I have started to paint things, and everything seems to be blue, which I don't know why, because I don't really even like blue. But everything seemed to get a coat of blue. I've straightened this border now. Here's another picture of my tortoise. And just beginning to start planting again now. The fence is still falling down, as you can see. But here they have renewed the fence. And I took down the raised beds and I flattened them and put some gravel, chip gravel there. Now here I have just tidied up this side of the garden when we decided that we would build a cabin, because we had 2 bedrooms in the bungalow and one of them was used for an office. So really we only have 1 bedroom that we could use. So we decided to splash out and build Richard an office. And of course, me being me, a small cabin wasn't big enough or good enough. I had to have the largest cabin that you could get. They built this cabin in one day. They were an amazing company. This is an autumnal picture with the leaves everywhere. And as you can see here, the paving in the garden was all uneven, so we decided to splash out. We saved and saved, and we finally had the garden landscaped. It was absolutely beautiful. This was about 3 years ago now. So as you can see, this is my garden today. I'm so happy with it. I decided to do a YouTube channel because I thought, I watch so many YouTube channels myself. I'm always watching gardening channels. I thought, well, I'm out there in the garden doing all the work. Let's try it for a year. Let's film everything I do. See what happens. I have had so much fun. I really enjoy all the editing process just as much as all the gardening. So it's gone very, very well. I think I will keep it up. This is my garden as you've seen it now. I absolutely love it. The area just by the cabin here with the box hedges was one of the last things that I did. That was a complete mess. I got my garden illusion gate, which I absolutely love, my boxwood and my little stepping stone path. And this is the garden today. And now I would not be without my garden. I don't know why it took me so long to get into gardening again. I absolutely love it. It is so good for your well-being. And of course, during lockdown this year in 2020, it has been a godsend, and I have never done quite as much gardening as I have done this year. I hope you've enjoyed looking at my garden and how it's changed over the past 15 years. Thanks for watching.